that number one, the government was not coming to save me. They are not there for me. The politicians are not there for me. They're after the elections. So I learned that early and it helped me. I also learned that people have their own problems. No matter how rich you think they are, they have their own problems. And so I cannot go and throw my own problems on top of their own problems. And again, if they could solve their own problems and earn money, why they have one head? Why can't I also solve my own problems? That was the origin of my self-reliance. So tonight, I'll be sharing with you the hidden escape plan for anyone who is tired of begging for help. So tonight, you're going to learn how to start earning your own money with dignity, even in a broken system. Yeah, so we really have to admit that one of the most important phrases that you should have in your personal diction is self-reliance. We were taught in my generation, growing up, or at least my father and my mother taught that very valuable lesson of self-reliance. But it looks like that lesson is lost on the world today. That lesson of self-reliance is lost on us today. And we find that the sense of entitlement in this generation that we're living in is very scary. I find it very scary. People feel entitled, to your income. If you are doing some work and then you are earning some money, people feel entitled. People are looking at you, relations, friends, people in the communities, in the village. They feel entitled and they actually feel offended when you don't go over there and then hand over everything you're doing, for them, like we used to say in Broken, that monkey the work, baboon the chop. Or is it the other way around? Okay, monkey the work, baboon the chop. This generation is a perfect characterization of that saying. For those of you who don't understand Pidgin, it means that the monkey is busy, laboring, doing all the work, doing all the earning. And then the baboon is just sitting very in a cozy sitting room, having all the fun. And then the monkey will work and then bring it to the baboon. So this is literally the baboon generation. That's what it is. And you can quote me, you can type it in the comment section. This is the baboon generation. It wasn't like my generation. It wasn't like the generation of my parents, where there was dignity in labor, dignity in earning your own income. But today, people actually think it is smart. They actually think it is smart to devise ways to parasite on other people and take their money to divide. And that's why all these Yahoo things, came up, and then people are looking for quick money. They feel entitled to your money, so you would not imagine the number of requests for money that I get every day. And this is not from children. These are from people in their late 30s, in their 40s, and even in their 50s. And they feel entitled. So this night session is very, very timely. So what I'm going to do is to share the escape plan. The problem is actually that there is resistance. Many people don't actually want to escape that situation. There are people in their 30s and 40s. They have settled to be parasiting on other people, to settle on other people's money, and never to make money for themselves. And so this is going to be useful for those people who are actually tired of begging and calling on calls, sending follow-up messages, waiting for the government handouts, waiting for influencers on social media to do giveaways. So this is for you. Tonight is for you, okay? And then some people, when they contact me, they make it seem so terrible. They sound so terrible, so that they will compel you to give them money. They sound so pathetic. Sometimes, they sound hyperbolic. You are my last chance. There is no food in the house. In fact, if you don't give me the money right now, we are going to die. My children are going to die. Everybody. And they put such terrible things on you. You have been focusing on charity, but tonight I want to rewire your mind. So you've been focusing on charity. So tonight I want to rewire your mind on dignity. So I don't know why, whether it's only me, but if this happens to you, you can also, just say, that's me as well. I feel terribly embarrassed. I feel like the deepest form of embarrassment, having to ask another person for money, especially money for food or money for consumables. And those of you who know it, I find it extremely difficult, to the point that I had to actually start treating myself to be able to receive things from people, because I find it so easy. I give, and then when it's time to ask people to support me, I find it literally impossible, to be able to ask for help. But there are people who just do it so, like it's normal, like it's casual. You beg for feeding money today. Next week, you're begging the same person for money for food. Another month, you're begging the same person for money for food, the same thing. That's terrible. And then you don't even feel any sense of loss of dignity, because that's actually where to start. If you don't feel that pain of the loss of dignity, you can't even do anything about it. So this is why this is for people who are actually tired of begging, of being a parasite. How can you be a parasite all your life? And then I know people who are already advanced in age. If you don't give them, they can't eat. And they're in their 50s and their 60s. I know people like that. And then they will hold malice against you. They will hold malice against you for not putting them on, on payroll, like regular payroll. Like on what basis? And they take offense. And then the saddest thing about this is why these people are narcissistic, okay? The saddest thing about it, they don't even care whether you yourself have financial problems. They just think that everything is okay for you. I, who speak to you, have serious money issues. I have projects abandoned because the money isn't there to be able to complete it. I have personal issues. I have family. I have relations. I have things. I also have financial goals. So, but they don't think about that. They don't think about your own situation. They only think about themselves. And then they take offense that you're not sharing the thing. That's the characteristic of the baboon generation. It's a baboon generation. People just feel comfortable, relaxing in their sitting room, and then waiting for the hardworking person to feed them, to dole out cash, and then support them. That is terrible. That's not how the human being was designed to live. Okay? So most people don't realize it, but dependency kills dreams. It kills dreams and poverty, and brings poverty. Sorry, let me put it this way. See, I think I'm getting a little bit worked up because of how deeply I feel this thing. Because we can be better. So this depending on people kills your own dream. For those of you watching from abroad, you live in America, you live in Europe, you live in Canada, and then you have these relations back home in Ghana, back home in Nigeria and Uganda, in Kenya. And they do nothing but wait for you to send them dollars. And then food finishes in the house. Oh, brother, we don't get food again. Ordinary, so they can't even feed themselves. They are depending on you. In the Middle East, in Libya, you are there slaving, literally slaving. And they are here back home. Brother, we don't have money to put in fuel in the car. That is terrible. So it kills their dreams. And you are not actually helping them. I'm telling you, you are not helping your siblings. If every time you have to carry them, because when are they going to develop and become self-sufficient? When are they going to develop? Because the easiest way to make people poor is to make them dependent on you. You always, everything they ask you, you give them. They're asking for food. The best thing if you're in the diaspora to give your brothers and your sisters and everybody down here is to give them education. Register them in the Financial Fitness Challenge. If they can learn how to make money on their own, leave them. Because you're not helping them. That's number one. Number two, you grow up thinking support will come. That is a trap of dependency. That's how it was set up. So many of us were raised thinking, oh, help will come. And I don't know sometimes whether religion is also a part of the problem. help will come from family, it will come from politicians, it will come God's timing. That's a setup for dependency. But over time, it dawns on you, the people you rely on are just as stuck as you are. They are solving their problems. If you ask me for 1 million, and I don't have my own problem to solve, and I don't show up for you, it doesn't mean that I don't love you. But I also have my money issues, to deal with. Okay? And so begging may get you through today, but begging will bankrupt your tomorrow. That's a quotable quote. That's something to tie down. Begging might get you through for today. This time, that school fee, you beg. The money to eat, you beg. It might save you now and give you money to eat, but it's going to bankrupt your tomorrow. So begging has never been a strategy. The other problem I must touch on is I want to admit that the system was never built for you and myself. And you have to understand the system. You have to understand how money works. It was not designed for you and me, starting with the educational system. Otherwise, how can you explain someone called a graduate who has spent all those years in the classroom, 3 years nursery, 6 years in primary school, that is 9, 6 years in secondary school, that is 15, 4 to 7 years in the university, and then sometimes another 3 years for PhD. I don't know how many years I've counted, but it's getting to 23 to 25 years. And yet you come out for the past 5 years. You're still depending on your mother, on your father's pension for pocket money, and you're in your 30s. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. And every day you go to your religious place, and then they are telling you, okay, God will give you money. God will. How? How? There's a reason you were given something called sound mind. So the system was not set up. It was not built to support you. You have to be aware of that. Just yesterday, my wife and I were having this conversation because we saw thousands of children trooping to school. And I just looked at these children and said, oh my God, they're now going to indoctrinate and destroy these children. Because people go to school, they are indoctrinated, they come out, they're useless. But these are very creative people, born creative. We were born very creative and problem solvers. And by the time they come out of school, you can't think. You can't solve problems. You only do what you're told to do. And then all you can do with all that so-called education is to prepare CV and start going around begging for who will employ you to pay you $50 a month. What is going on? What's the matter with you people? So, everything that I am today, I didn't learn any of it in school. And you look around the people who are doing well, they didn't learn it in school. That's where personal development becomes very important. That's where personal development, you've got to develop it. See these books behind me. You think they are there for decoration? You think these books are there for just decoration? It wasn't what I read in zoology, what they taught me in zoology in secondary school. That's been feeding me. I have read, I have paid for coaching, I have traveled wide to attend conferences and workshops, paid for it with my own money. And as I'm talking to you, I have coaches. I'm paying somebody, in fact, 2 people now. There's a gentleman, $95 every month to do something for me. There's another guy, a Nigerian, I paid to teach me something in YouTube. It's personal development. Who will teach you that one in school? Algebra, calculus, economics, history of the something people. How is that going to feed you? So the system was rigged against you. You have to be aware of that. All right. So education is not going to school. You can go to school and come out, and then you're an illiterate. In fact, you're an illiterate as long as you come out of school and you don't know how to earn a living, and you're still depending on your parents, depending on your elder brother for pocket money. What a shame! It should not be that way. Okay. So the system and the game was designed to keep you compliant, to keep you oppressed, to keep you exhausted, and to keep you broke. That's why the politicians are able to, every time it's election season, they come and manipulate you. Because they've rigged the system. They've made it such that you find it very difficult to make a living. You find it very difficult to run a business in a place like Nigeria. They've made it so difficult so that when it is election time, they can give you 1,500 naira, 2,500 and buy your votes. And you eat that day for the election. Then for the next 4 years, you're useless. The system doesn't support you. They do not do anything to lift you out of poverty and things like that. So you have to be aware of what is going on. Wake up. So I personally stopped waiting for someone to open doors for me long time ago. I had to learn how to build my own keys. I graduated in 1988, finished my youth service in 1989. That was when the reality of life, that nobody was coming to save me, when it dawned on me, the moment it dawned on me that the government was not there for me, I formed that belief since like in the 80s. The government is not there. They have no impact at all in my life. The government of this country. No impact. Not in my security, not in my feeding, not in my business, nothing. Even in the so-called education. I went through school. My father paid. No bursary, no scholarship, especially if you come from my area of the country. The government. So I learned early that number one, the government was not coming to save me. They are not there for me. The politicians are not there for me. They're after the elections. So I learned that early and it helped me. I also learned that people have their own problems. No matter how rich you think they are, they have their own problems. And so I cannot go and throw my own problems on top of their own problems. And again, if they could solve their own problems and earn money, why they have one head? Why can't I also solve my own problems? That was the origin of my self-reliance. So a long time, 2 years, I trekked the streets of Lagos looking for a job. I couldn't. 2 years after graduation, I didn't get a job. That was why when it dawned on me, guy, if you do not do anything about your life, that's it. No one is coming to save you. And then looking back since 1989, it worked out for me. That worked out for me. So you have to come to that realization that no one is coming to save you. Okay, so what is the escape plan? That is for those of you who are tired of begging. I'm not talking to those who are feeling very comfortable being parasites on all that people's. How in the world can you be in today's world? You are 18 years old with all the technology, with all the AI, with all the things on your phone, with all the global markets and tech and thousands of ways you can earn money. How can you feel comfortable depending on my money, looking at my money, looking at your neighbor's money, looking at relations, looking at one influencer to do giveaway, so that you go and struggle, they will do giveaway, and then you're on social media praying, e-money, remember me in your kingdom. They are spraying money somewhere. Remember your boy. Why? How? What about your own head? So here is the escape plan tonight. The first thing is that you have to totally rewire your mind from dependency to independency. To real independence. Because until you start thinking independence, you will continue to beg. Until you start thinking independence. As long as you think, oh, there's always an uncle I will call to get money when I get sick. When I have any emergency, there's always an uncle. There's my sister who is working in Zenith Bank. Or there's my brother who is living in Germany. You are finished. So you have to rewire your mind that even hunger will not, because you have to come to the point where when you are hungry, instead of begging, stay hungry and do something. Because as long as you think, you know, oh, somebody will give me food, let me just call, you will not do anything about your situation. So change what you call security. Stop thinking about handouts. Stop thinking about job offers or favors. All those things are gone. Stop thinking all this favor. Oh, this government shall favor me. What? This government shall favor. What nonsense? This government, they shall favor me. Or you're waiting to win lottery. And that's why you're going over there gambling. You even borrow money to play. What is this thing you guys call it in Nigeria? Naira bet, Niger bet. I don't know what. All these betting things, sports betting. And then some of you have borrowed and spent, wasted millions. Because you are there waiting for luck to shine on you, for God to remember you. What nonsense. Okay? So that's step number one. Stop thinking handouts. Rewire your mind. Stop thinking about favor. Somebody who will show you favor. Stop looking for senior man. Somebody who will hail and call senior man. Chairman. Yeah, your boy Dave. Remember us. Stop. What? Stop that. Each time I'm going through a gate and I see all these able-bodied young men manning gates of the estate and all, and then they do this, you know what they do, like that. Then they call you senior man. The other day, there's a particular place, they started calling me man of God. They will hail you, man of God. Then they will run after your car to drop something for them. That's animal. That is like living the level of animal. So see yourself as more dignified, than that. Okay. Number 2, instead of thinking about handouts, start to monetize what you know. The ways to make money in today's world have grown. Thousands of ways to make money. You can literally post the picture of something. I'm looking for objects here, You can literally paste the picture. Just put this on Instagram and say, I am selling this. I am I'm delivering free in Lagos. If you buy 12 or 10, I'm selling this. You can literally put this thing, and within 24 hours, you can sell 50 of these things. And that's enough to feed you and your family for 1 week. The ways to make money have been democratized in today's world. So if you're not making money, it's not because there's no way to make money, it's because of ignorance, and it's also because of laziness. Because you're waiting for somebody to come and save you. Okay? So monetize what you know. So there's something you know that someone else could gladly pay for. Do an ebook. I have ebooks there, and I earn money on a daily basis based on capturing what I know on my ebook, and I create workbooks to help people to implement these things, and people are buying it on a daily basis. So there is daily money coming. Little things. So start teaching something, start selling it. You go online, people are making money, basically doing all kinds of things. There are women making money, teaching other people how to make soup. They just put their video on. And then they teach you, you bring this oil, you bring this perfume, you turn this, you add this chemical, you turn this, and people are paying. They advertise their WhatsApp number. If you want to learn how to make soup, pay 10,000 to this whatever, and then I will teach you. And then they have WhatsApp number, our WhatsApp group. And you enter some of these WhatsApp groups because I have paid so that I can see, just understand their process and their funnel. And you go to some of these WhatsApp groups, 1,000 people, 1,100 people who have paid 10,000 naira to learn how to make soap. If you have paid for one of those things, type I have paid in the comment section. Let it not just be like I'm making it. I'm not making it up. It's all there. So monetize what you know. That is more dignified than always looking for one uncle. Somebody will call daddy. Daddy, I haven't eaten. Please send me money. Stop it. Okay? So nobody who is wealthy today waited until they were ready. They started, then got better. So start. Don't wait until you are ready. Don't wait until you have too much money. If you have money to buy data, to scroll, you have money, you have enough to start a business. You have enough money to earn. So stop complaining, oh, there's no money. What do you mean by there's no money? But you're on TikTok every day. You're on Facebook. Number 3, cut the cord of guilt. So many people stay broke because they are afraid of looking stingy if they stop carrying others. And this stingy thing is horrible. But what saved me was this stingy label. That stingy label is so satanic. Have they labeled you? If they have labeled you stingy before, type in the comment section. Just type stingy. Type stingy. Let me know that it's not only me that they are calling stingy. So what gave me peace? Because it used to bother me a lot. What gave me peace was I finally discovered that stingy in Nigerian language means a different thing from what stingy means in English. Stingy just means we want to, in Nigeria, stingy means we want to scam you and you're refusing. We want to defraud you and you are refusing. We want to leech on you and you are refusing to let us scam you. That is the definition of stingy in Nigeria. So don't let it bother you. Don't let it bother you. There's a community that started calling me stingy. Why did they call me stingy? They whole people, oh, that's stingy man. I'm known in that community as that stingy man. What happened? My farm is there. And then these people used to cheat the hell out of me because I come from outside. So what they should normally do for me, for say 30,000 naira, these people will charge me 120 and I will pay. And then when I get back to town, people are like, how in the world, these people, how could you do that? So I kept paying until one day I said, no, you guys, this is a lot. How can you say that to just put a little groove in front of my farm to redirect rain so that it doesn't go through the farm? How can you charge me that kind of money? And then to trim a palm tree, you are telling me I'm going to pay you little palm trees. I'm going to pay you, quoted like 3,000 naira per tree or something. That's horrible. Meanwhile, somebody ended up doing it for literally like 100 naira or less. So because I wouldn't pay you 3,000 naira, because they see me like I'm such a big, very wealthy person coming there, and I'm refusing to share the money, to be stupid. I'm refusing to be stupid, to be extravagant, to spend money without thinking, to spend money without accounting for it. But I'm making records of everything I'm saying because that farm has to be profitable. And so I cannot just spend anyhow. So I now got someone to manage it, and then all the expenses came down. The things they would charge me 150, the guy would get it done for 25, 30,000. And I say, so when I now got somebody, instead of me, to do it, and then that person brought the cost down, they said, I'm stingy. So next time they call you stingy in Nigeria, don't let it bother you. Stingy means that we want to cheat you. We want to scam you. And you are refusing to let us scam you. That is such a satanic manipulation. So they call you stingy. So people are afraid of being called stingy because they cannot carry other people. But then when you yourself burn out, who will help you? If I burn out today, where will all those people be? If there's a burnout or something happens to me, God forbid, and I can't earn again, do you think these people will come? No. No, you know the answer. So self-reliance starts by saying, I matter too. Yeah, I matter too. Because if I can't stand, how can I help other people stand? And then I'm trying to stand, and then all of you are pulling me down. How will all of us stand? Now, step number 4, build a Sabbath fund. I've talked about Sabbath fund, and I keep talking about Sabbath fund. Sabbath stands for rest, stands for peace. So save to buy your peace ahead of time, not just for emergencies. Of course, you need to create emergency fund also. So that when there is emergency, like you go to hospital or something, there will be something to pay for it. Not just once there is emergency, once there is headache. You don't even have transport money to the hospital. You know, people are like that. How can you live your life like that? And yet, but I see you young people, every day you're drinking bottles of beer, 5 bottles of beer. Each of those bottles is probably at least 700, 800 naira. You drink up to 5,000 a day, plus other expensive drinks. So I've seen some of you. This is what I do because I work with you young people. I see some people, the food that they go to eat, and then their drinks, they spend at least 10 to 15K every day. But they who do not have emergency 5,000 naira saved somewhere to take them to hospital when they fall sick. What kind of generation is this? What kind of generation is this? Somebody help me say baboon generation. That's what it is. That's what it is. Self-reliance is a virtue. Self-reliance is a virtue. Schools should start teaching self-reliance. Okay? So build your emergency fund and also build a Sabbath fund. All right. So as I'm closing, I just want to summarize again by telling you that no one is coming to save you, but that's okay because you're enough to build a different story. The dignity of earning your own money, of paying your child's school fees, of paying your hospital bills, of paying your transportation without panic, or of helping others from the overflow, not from empty pockets. That's the life I want for you. That's the life I want for you. Of course, I'm helping others. But you see, Jesus taught me not to go around broadcasting it. So that I'm not broadcasting it does not mean that I'm not helping. Does not mean that I'm not helping. I've given out five cars My wife and I have given out like 5 vehicles. You don't see it posted on social media. So that doesn't mean I'm not doing it. We've given out 5 cars, if not more than 5 or 6. But you've never seen me come. I can't come to social media showing you picture of people. So I'm doing from the overflow. But the problem is I can't be everybody's emergency unit. I can't do it for everybody. I cannot. So that I'm quiet about it does not mean that I'm not helping from the overflow in the ways I am. So the ways I go to the market, sometimes I see people struggling to pay for something, pay for food for their families. And I quietly pay for it and tell the seller to just give it to them and not let them know that I paid for it. I do that. But there's no way I can carry the whole country. There's no way. Who am I? And what kind of money do I have to be able to carry everybody? And so when I can't carry you, then you say I'm stingy. Total strangers sending me, people I've never met, I'm not related to them, every single day. Messages on my DM. I haven't eaten. I haven't paid school fees. Do this. Especially girls. Why? Why is it like that? You want money to do this, to make your hair, to eat, to do that. Why? On what basis? I'm not a bank. Am I a bank? Where will all that money come from to do it for everybody? But if you're self-reliant, then you will not only stand, you will also be able to help other people. And then when you are helping, the best kind of help is the type I'm doing for you people. This thing costs me to do this. I'm a career coach. People pay. Some of you here are probably my clients. You know what you pay for a session of 75 minutes with me. And companies know what they pay to hire me for a weekend. But here, every day I'm here teaching you so that you can stand by yourself. Not every little thing you're looking for who to give you money. Okay? And then if you have come to your senses enough and you are tired of feeling helpless and ready to start your journey to financial independence, join the Financial Fitness Challenge. That's why I hold it. That's where you get in to get a lot more help. Practical things. You sit with me, and then you'll be able to learn how to make money using what you already know. And then you'll be saying, okay, but we can't afford it. That's why I'm also doing this free. Go to my YouTube channel. There are at least 600 videos like this. Some of them have free worksheets. There are free things. Do it for yourself. But if you need my help and you want to come into the mentorship, into my mentorship, into close mentorship, where we actually talk about these things, starting an investment account, stock recommendations that you can use to create your wealth and then get out of poverty and things like that, then send a message. If you want to join, send a WhatsApp message with send me enrollment details. Just type send me enrollment details and send it to WhatsApp number +234 8088 000 111. The WhatsApp number again, don't call it. It doesn't answer. Just send WhatsApp message to +234 8088 000 111. And then all you say there is send me enrollment details. And then you will receive it. And then I will see you in the group. And I hope this has been very valuable. I apologize if I was a little bit, but I'm talking from the heart of a father and talking with passion. I know that every one of you, anyone who is listening to the sound of my voice, can become self-reliant, and you need to pursue it as your objective. Stop depending on people. Become the person that other people will depend on. Stop being a receiver, a perpetual receiver. Also become a giver. Because the reason I'm blessed is because I give. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. So don't just be a receiver. Somebody called me. You've not done anything for me. You've never done anything for me. What about you doing for me? Anyway, whatever happens, keep showing up, because you have no idea what's coming your way next. And I'm going to see you same time tomorrow.